that how much he has got a trust in existence. In the same taste now I'm getting also, those flavor I'm enjoying. And I'm sure when you enjoy, who thinks of anything else but to continue that enjoyment?
You answered almost all the questions I wrote down. Yeah. Wait, is it too cold for you?
No, it's all fine.
This was almost a discourse. Son.
But that has been my... that's so recent, yesterday only I wrote a letter to him and I sent him and I'm expecting some reply.
Also, you removed a couple of questions from my head. So
You
I
can
need,
ask him, yeah.
yeah, I need to go back and find my questions.
Find it, it's okay. No hurry here.
Yeah. Does Bhagwan ever upset you by what he is saying?
Basically not.
For instance, test tube babies?
The question is, because right from the beginning, I have been quite in contact with him. And initially, there were very few people who were organizing his activity. So today, as you find, half a dozen people who are conducting his things. In the earlier days, I'll be the person who will be waiting till he comes to the dais. After he's seated, I'll be the person who will be tape recording his speech. Before he comes, I will be given the instructions, what are to be announcements to be made. After the discourse is over, then again the same sort of a thing. Then in the afternoon, when the people used to see him, then I'll be in charge of interview with him. So I know what the persons are talking and things have been happening. I remember once in Ahmedabad, the professors of various colleges, a group of people came and wanted to talk to him about the future and so many things. And when they talked to him and his answers came out, they realized that he was talking much ahead of them. And then they said to him that it will be better for us to organize a lecture of yours on 2000 AD. That means what the future has to unravel. So the question is that he has been, saying all those things. And to be with him, it was very clear that you have to be an open book. Basically, he hasn't upset me. And as I said that I have understood him in the very beginning because it was not a love affair with me in that sense. Many people just see Bhagwan, fell in love and just start. And then, they go through the process of upsetting. With me, it was directly seeing him, questioning him, understanding him intellectually what he says. Then I realized it when I understood him intellectually. And few lectures that I heard in the beginning, then when I look at my life, I found that it was a big zero. My 30 or 32 or 35 years of life has resulted in nothing but a big zero if I take what he has said to be correct. But that needed to be verified by experimenting in meditation camps. So that was a different thing, and that I did get verified from time to time. So whatever he said, I had absolute trust in what he said. But one thing was that I didn't take it for granted too, because I knew that what he says is okay so far as coming from him, but it is not okay from my side till I have the same experience. So I cannot say those things on my own authority and experience. When I have to say, I say that this is what Bhagwan says it. It is up to you. The same thing is to come question, people will say that, what about his being Bhagwan? I say he's Bhagwan, he's saying in his own authority, you take it or leave it. Nothing can be said. Who am I to certify that? Or who else could be certifying that? Nobody else can. So that is like that. But if the person asks me that whether I have seen some sort of a godliness or some element of Bhagwan in him, then I can say as to yes, what my experience has been and what I felt different with this individual and how I feel godliness coming out of him, that I can say. So this being my approach, I normally had no difficulty in accepting whatever he was saying, because I always separated one thing, that he has right to say whatever he feels and what is his experience. And then for me, I have to experiment, experience, and then thereafter only I can say on the basis of my experience what it is. So there has been no problem basically to me on that point.
I have one more question. We have seen your hands dancing to the music before this course and after this course. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, you see, I have been a meditator, and meditator has got quite a good synchronicity, or is it tuning, or melting with the music. And this music, which really are meditative type and which takes us into the depth, really touches my being, and then I'm involved totally into it. And then as the energy moves higher and higher, I just dance. And dancing is happening more and more with my hands and fingers. And in Rajneshpuram, the same experience I had. Some or the other, I used to connect my finger with each different instruments that are being played in orchestra. And as if my fingers are you can say the representative of the same orchestra, and like that with the movement of that orchestra, I go on playing and allow myself let loose, completely let go. And with that, when the joy comes, then joy is vibrating throughout my body, my face. Sometimes I cry too out of joy, and the movements happens. This is also partly to do with a certain healing which we talked in the past. I have found that my fingers, each fingers, particularly my fingers, I play quite a lot with my fingers tips, and they have some sort of a energy touches. This I say because with some of the few people with whom I have come in contact, and when I touch their body, they have felt instantly on the basis of the tip of my finger that it is having a tremendous effect on their body. And some of the spot where they have some disease or some trouble or some blocks, they get released and they feel so soothing and loving and comforting. So sometimes I've seen the people come, oh, come here, Asanga, and put your hand on this part of my body or here or like that. Even that is happening. So what I'm seeing is that as I have become more and more open and the whole energy phenomena is going through my body, my tips of the fingers are becoming much more a sort of radiating energy. And that's what you might have seen in the before the discourse and after the discourse, when I was just dancing with my hands. That was the phenomena. They were not simply dancing, but it was dance of joy. And there was some liveliness and some energy behind those movements of those fingers. They were not just fingers.
Thank you very much, Asanga.